Hey guys, Justin here with J Modelworks coming to you from the garage again. I got the door open a little bit here. It's hot. It's 9:30 at night right now, and I just checked the thermometer and the humidity gauge that I keep in my spray booth over there, and it's still 91 degrees right now. So the air conditioner is not running at this exact moment, but it's going to kick on again here in probably just a minute or two and run forever. There's just nothing I can do about it. I will try to speak up so that hopefully you can hear me when it does run, but if I were to try and pause this every time that kicked on, it would take me hours to record this. So, live, unedited, Jason from Blue Ox Model Works has proposed a question to the community, and that question is, how has the hobby affected or helped you with regards to mental and physical health type situations? And this is I've commented on this a bit before in the past, but it is a topic that is important to me. Men's mental health is a very important topic in my world. I know there's a few ladies out there, one, maybe two of you might actually watch my videos, and we love you guys too, don't get me wrong, but you ladies are more likely to take care of yourselves better than we do. But yeah, men's mental health is a big issue to me, and it's something, so I felt that this was definitely something to revisit again and do a response to Jason on. So I have mentioned in the past that I suffer from bouts of depression and anxiety. And the hobby really does help with both of those. Now, don't get me wrong, painting bodies gives me anxiety. I am seriously tense from the moment the primer goes down to the moment the last coat of clear goes down. In fact, I just had to respray the front end on the Porsche Boxster because I got a run and I was not able to sand it. Well, I sanded it and went through the corner and went straight down to the plastic, so I had to strip it and respray it. So yeah, painting bodies kind of causes me some stress. But working on models, working on whatever my hobbies are at the time, it keeps my brain active. And it keeps it like on task. So when I'm deeply focused on a model and I'm working, I'm designing a part, or I'm scratch building something, or I'm modifying something, my brain stays focused on that, and it doesn't wander to the bills, the house, the foundation. Thank God the foundation is over with. Just the floors, the walls, just all of that. When I'm really working on a model, I don't dwell on that stuff. If I'm not dwelling on the things that are giving me anxiety, I'm also less likely to start slipping into bouts of depression. And both of these are things that they can happen to me, and when they do happen to me, they can get severe. The night my mom passed, I got a phone call that she was in bad shape and that she was going to go. I was getting ready to go. The wife was getting ready. We were literally getting in the car to go see her when they called me again and said, "Take your time, she's gone." So we decided we were going to go ahead and go have dinner. And all the way through the dinner, I kind of just, my chest was really tight. I kind of felt short of breath a lot. Was just kind of having some trouble. Now, when I was born, I had a birth defect called Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome, which is where when you're a fetus, your heart only has one chamber, and there's all these strands that run the pulse to beat. And as it forms, it develops and twists and forms the 4 different, chambers of the heart. It's supposed to snap all those extra pathways off, so you have one pathway. Mine didn't all snap off, so I would have rare occasions of a form of a tachycardia called Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome, where the pulse to beat splits, and then it collides and it loops, and it turns into palpitations. I have since had that addressed, but the last time that happened, like the first time it happened, I was like 16 months old. They didn't even have a name for this. My pediatrician saved my life. Nobody really knew what was going on. Just I didn't die. When I was 27, I had another major incident that landed me in the hospital. We didn't know what was happening. They treated me for tachycardia because I told them that I had had tachycardia as a child, and that kills Wolff-Parkinson's-White patients. So I died for about 2.5 minutes. And then they're like, we now know what's wrong with you. You're going to go see this guy. He's going to fix you. And he did. I have not had an issue since having surgery for that. That's all well. But this is going to be a long, rambling video, guys. I'm very sorry. It's just the nature of the topic. So I'm at dinner, and my chest feels like it was when it was doing 350 beats a minute at 27. That's what I was doing when I pretty much died. Just like everything hurt, and I was like, we need to go to the hospital. The hospital was really close by. We went in. I told them what was going on. They did all the checks and said, Mr. Hart, you have anxiety. I was like, what? Yeah, $3,000 later to tell me that I have anxiety and that I need to talk to my doctor and get anxiety meds. But when I'm working on models, I'm not focusing on set bills, the house, the car. Is work laying people off again? Am I going to have a job next month? These are the things that my brain will dwell on if I'm not focused on something. And modeling gives me that thing to focus on. Another thing that I have, the wonderful joys of ADHD. I was diagnosed officially as a child. However, in the very early 80s, pretty much the only medication that they had was Ritalin. And Ritalin is nowhere near as delicate as the medications that there are out there today. Back in the early 80s, they put kids on Ritalin, and those kids turned into zombies for pretty much the rest of their lives. You may as well just been shooting them up with Thorazine. They would literally just be like, all day. It was, so my father was like, my child is not going to be doing that, so I never got treated for ADHD. I got to learn to live with ADHD, and I got yelled at nonstop for being lazy and not focusing and not paying attention and not being still, and I'm always like moving my hands, moving my feet. I'm always antsy, but the big things are I'm very forgetful of things. You guys will ask me for a shop card, and 3 days later I'll be like, oh, I think I got an email for a shop card. I should probably go fill that out. My wife will ask me to do things, and I'll be like, okay, and I mean to do them. I want to do them, but then I completely forget. One of the aspects, there's many things that are clustered into ADHD. One of those things is car. So one of the things is hyper-focusing. Now, JD from JD's House of Hobbies touched on this on his video. He did a great job. But I will hyper-focus really bad. sometimes. And that is where your brain latches onto something and you focus on it. And I will hyper focus on modeling. I'm bad about it, but it is what it is. My wife went on a trip somewhere. I think she went down to Houston to see her sister or something. Anyhow, it was just me in the house. The kids are all gone. They may have gone with her. I don't know. But it was literally just me in the house. One of those mornings, I woke up at 4. I made coffee. I meant to make breakfast, but I forgot to make breakfast. I started modeling. And I went to bed. I stopped modeling and went to bed at 3 the next morning. I did not eat the entire day. I did get up and get water and drinks periodically, some more coffee, some water. But I didn't stop to actually eat, And that's one of the things is just you can zoom in so much and start working on details or something, and the next thing you know, it's like the middle of nowhere. It's late at night, and the wife is like, "Are you coming to bed ever?" And yeah. Another issue that is a part of the ADHD spectrum is something called executive dysfunction, and I have this, and I have it badly. It is not that ADHD people are lazy. It's not that we don't want to do what you asked us to do. We literally can't. My wife will ask me, "Justin, will you do a load of laundry?" And I want to do the laundry. I know I need to do the laundry, but I'm doing something else. And I can't get myself to stop what I'm doing and go do the laundry. I mean to, but I also live near an airport. So yeah, I want to do the things. I want to edit a video, but there's times when I just cannot make myself actually go edit video until it's like 2 days before the video should be out, and next thing you know, I'm in an absolute panic doing voiceover until 3 in the morning, and so yeah, there's definitely things in my world that are fantastically wrong, but I do find that the hobby helps with a lot of it. The hobby, like I said, the hobby lets me not be anxious. The hobby keeps me from being depressed. The hobby allows me to have something positive to focus on that is still somewhat productive. There's just a ton of things that the hobby really helps with. So yeah, the hobby really is a huge benefit to my entire world. Now, you may be like, "Well, Justin, you're an adult now and you know that the medications are a lot better for ADHD. Why don't you talk to your doctor and get treated for that?" And here is the reason why. Most of the medications they use to treat ADHD are very close in nature. In fact, several of them are just a couple of chemical processes away from methamphetamines. In fact, for a couple of them, the generic is literally an amphetamine. I also have high blood pressure, which amphetamines and heart issues don't really go hand in hand all that well. So, on top of that, when I was a teenager, I was introduced to the world of better living through chemistry, and I did get involved for a little less than a couple of years in taking some unlicensed pharmaceuticals that I did not realize what I was doing was medicating my ADHD. And when I was taking substances, the entire world made sense. It was amazing. It was very hard to get clean, but I did. Yeah, it's. I don't want to run the risk of ever ending back up in a situation like I was in as a teenager. So, I'm 49 years old. I've lived almost half a century managing my ADHD, managing my depression, managing my anxiety. So I try to do as little chemical intervention as possible. I do have some anxiety meds my doctor has given me that I'm to take in emergency situations. Like when I'm having a really bad attack, I'm to take them. But like I'm not on a daily dose of anything. So instead, I use the hobby. And one other really great aspect of this hobby that has greatly helped with a lot of my mental health issues has been the YouTube car modeling community. There is a lot of support out there. This is the greatest bunch of people that I have ever had the joy of interacting with consistently. There are people I have never met in my life that I consider my best friends. There are people in here I've never met that are absolutely, I consider brothers. There are people I would give the shirt off my back for if they were to call me up and say, Justin, I need something. You know, and we do things for each other. Like we see each other as having problems. We reach out, we talk to each other, we call each other, we text each other. Charlie Mack had his house flood. A couple of us went and looked at his videos, zoomed into his videos to see what books were damaged in his collection of books, and we sent stuff out to Charlie. When people pass, there's usually a GoFundMe that gets started, and people contribute to that to help their families. This community is a family. It's a family that I don't have. I don't have a lot of family in my life. Most of my family is actually my wife's family. So having that group of amazing people that watch my videos, that comment on my videos, that talk to me, that email me, that text me, they're friendships that I was seriously missing out on before starting my channel, which the channel is part of the hobby. It's kind of its own hobby, but it's definitely a major part of the hobby for me is the YouTube channel, is sharing the great and wonderful things that I've gotten. I've learned so much stuff from so many amazing builders out there, and so I try to share as much of that as I can, because I want to give back to the community that has done so much for me on a mental status. So I'm gonna quit rambling because this is like a 20-minute freaking video, so I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you listening to me rant. Jason, that is my answer for you, and I will catch you guys on the next one.